Okay, that in the previous session we talked about the strategy and how it is aligned in the organization. So, knowledge management was talked about and brief introduction was given to knowledge management. Now, we start from this slide. So, developing and implementing a knowledge management strategy. So, we talk about what is knowledge management strategy is. It's a plan and it manages to improve the productivity and efficiency in the organization. 5 steps. There are 5 steps. Support from senior management. In order to develop and implement a knowledge management strategy, there should be strategy direction from the management. So, management should support, the senior management of the organization has to support the knowledge management, otherwise these things cannot be implemented. And installing the IT infrastructure. The IT infrastructure is a main key element in the organization. In order to implement a KM strategy, that is knowledge management, IT infrastructure is the main thing. So, senior management has to take decision that support the senior management should support to install the IT infrastructure. That will be a cost involvement. There will be a cost involvement. So, senior management has to support for that. Then this arrow shows how it goes to the down. Developing the database. So, IT infrastructure is developed. Then developing the database. The database capture the information of knowledge available in the organization. So, senior management will support, then IT infrastructure will also support through the advice of the senior management, and then those information available in the organization will be stored in databases with the help of IT infrastructure. And the databases will store, then develop the sharing culture. You know that once you join an organization, you don't have information. You are not knowledgeable about the organization. So, what do? You want to capture the information. You have to learn things. So, sharing of knowledge has to be there. So, one person should teach you what the emotion should be captured, and you can refer to the website, you can gain the knowledge. You can refer to the database which is stored the data can be seen. So, through the data referencing, so you can understand about the environment, about the customer. If you are a salesperson, you can retrieve the information, you can refer to the information stored in the database with regard to each and every individual, each and every customers. Then you know who are they. So, you have captured the knowledge through the information. So, that is called knowledge management. So, the knowledge management strategy is to develop a sharing culture. Normally, most of the organization is struggling with this sharing culture, because one person doesn't like to teach other. So, because it should come from their heart, but senior management has to build that sharing culture. So, knowledge management platform, knowledge management strategy cannot be implemented in any of the organization without the support of management to establish a sharing culture. So, everybody should work in a team. That team people, the team members has to support each other, providing the information. Let us say a salesperson is going to some other area, salesperson 1, 2, 3, 4 going to all the areas, and sales supervisor is there, sales manager is there. So, the products that they are selling will be captured and stored in the systems, and those knowledge about the customers and about the areas competencies, let us say in Mathar area, for some products will be specialized, in Colombo area some products will be specialized. For that, the salesperson, specific salesperson will be involved in the Colombo area, Mathara, Golo, wherever the places that the company is sending them. Then the company supervisors will, the sales supervisors get those information and summarize it and give it to the sales manager, head of sales or somebody. So, that person will guide to the senior management as well. So, it's a knowledge sharing. So, from one to another knowledge is shared. Not only that, knowledge has to be stored where? In the databases. By using what? IT infrastructure, by the support of senior management. Then capturing and using the knowledge. Now, knowledge is sharing. The shared knowledge has to be captured and use the knowledge. Then the captured knowledge which is stored in the databases has to be shared, and also that should be captured and learn the knowledge. Okay, I think that 5 step that I have elaborated here, so you have learned it well. So, let us talk about benefit of knowledge management. Why we need the knowledge management system? What are the benefits that we are gaining? Improve the business processes. In order to improve the business processes, you must have managed knowledge. The knowledge has to be stored in somewhere, that has to be retrieved, that has some references. And improve the productivity. The productivity has to be improved through what? Knowledge. It means throughout the organization history, the knowledge is captured and it is stored, and it is a well known knowledge to everybody, that is shareable. So, using that knowledge, the new product can be developed. So, before they make new products, they have to understand the history. Where the history is written? It is written in the knowledge management system or the database that used for. So, those history information will be taken and that is shared, then that will be used to improve the productivity. So, improve the efficiency. So, trial and error methods have, I think you have you understand that. So, when doing let's say that CSC Lanka is organizing an event. So, that events had some loopholes, that had some mistake done. So, those mistakes are captured in the system. When we do this, this can be happen. So, it is stored, it is shared. So, in the next event, that will not be happening. So, their efficiency will go up. So, within 1 hour's time, they can do it, and let us say in order to do some arrangement in event management, so they take about 1 hour, then they will 1 hour, within that 1 hour they do a mistake, the already 45 minutes are gone. So, they have to spend another 45 minutes, that is half an hour, to complete something. So, the requirement. Then you have understand, you have learned about the mistake that you have done in the previous implementation. So, you will not be doing this, then within half an hour time you can do the job. So, it is called efficiency. How does this efficiency came? Because of knowledge that is managed and shared. So, improved organizational ability to move quickly. So, improve the organization ability, so they can move quickly. moving forward, not in backward. So, in order to move forward in the industry, they must have shared knowledge. So, then improve their ability, improve their thinking pattern, then they can take decision and move quickly, then quickly they can focus. Better and faster decision making. If you have summarized the information in the history what has happened, it is very easy to take decision. Better and faster decision. Because you know what went wrong and you have experienced that. And that experience, what you have learned, is stored in the system. So, that is retrieval basis, that you can retrieve the information that is shared. So, when taking decision, the top management can decide and predict in future needs. So, knowledge management is supporting for better and faster decision making. Not only that, quick problem solving. So, problems can be solved quickly. As I said you, in the event management scenario, one job can be done within 45 minutes, that can be failed, then another 45 will be taken to solve the problem, solve the job. So, you have learned the mistake. Now, when you do it again, you do not want to worry about that, you can do it very well. So, then the problem can be solved very quickly. And increasing of innovation. Innovation come through knowledge management. Is it true? Because knowledge is shared and you have the knowledge, the organization has knowledge, now it is captured, now they goes for new innovation. As an example, I can tell you, if I that for the creation of new cars, for the development of new cars in a car manufacturing company, they manufacture the car, they use wheels, tires. So, are you going to find out how this tire is made, how this wheel is made? It is already innovated, it is found already and the knowledge is available. So, why do not you go back and see how it is developed? It is already done. So, then the innovation should be from the last innovation onward. So, innovation can be increasing. So, new innovation will be there thereafter. Support for employee growth and development. So, the knowledgeable employees are a wealth of any organization. Without a knowledge, employee is not required. That is a normal theory. So, why we need employees to do some work? If the employee is not developing with the knowledge within the organization or the knowledge taken from outside, that employee does not support for the growth of or development of the organization. So, the employee profile development is a growth for the development of the organization as well. Effective sharing of knowledge, that is called sharing culture. So, when the sharing culture is developed, it will be acting like a teamwork, team spirit will be there. So, everybody will be working on a team. If somebody is losing something, another one will be coming and helping them. So, likewise, the knowledge is shared and everybody will be helping each other. So, that knowledge sharing culture will be developed. That is beneficial for the growth of the organization as also for the growth of the employees. And better communication in the organization. In order to achieve some objectives, once the sharing culture is developed by the organization by the support of senior management, each and every person will be communicated each other. Then automatically communication gap will be reduced. So whatever the information is required, the people can be grasp the information from the database, and wherever the possible ways, whatever the possible ways, then if they want, they can communicate with the people in the organization. So communication method will be enhanced, improved. Type of technology infrastructure. So we have finished the knowledge management part. But I prefer that if you can read out the content given in the search engines, Google's or somewhere, because when you read the videos in the YouTube or somewhere about the knowledge management, you get a very good idea. Then that information will not be deleted from your memory. So let's talk about type of technology infrastructure. What are the types? Some of these infrastructure which I have given in this slide will be descriptively explained in some other slide as well. So sometimes I will be skip some information, and because some information will be given in other slide as well. So standalone computers. What is standalone computers? Standing alone. Standing alone is a computer that is standing alone. It's a standalone device, no connectivity. As example, desktop computers. So your laptop can be a desktop computer. Our mainframe computer. Early days we used the mainframe computer, especially in the bank industry. Now also some of the organizations are using. So that connected some connect the mainframe for the mainframe computers. Terminal computers are connected each other. So that has no connectivity to each other. So no network is there. It's a standalone device. So in a question paper that can be asked, what is features of the standalone computers? Let's say they will say there is a connectivity between computers. It is wrong. Then you have to identify what is the best feature, and as example they will be given. So networks is a number of computers connected with each other, with shared files, shared devices such as printers. Actually, if you have worked in a company, you have seen that there are local area network which connect the computers to each other, and also that share the information to each other. And also wide area network is the network which connects with other networks. Then that becomes a very big networks. It's a number of computers connected with each other. It's a connectivity is there. So in the standalone computer there is no connectivity, but in networks there are connectivities. Intranet and extranet. So we will descriptively explain this one in next slide. So I'll go with the connected devices. What are the connected devices? Printers, cameras, fingerprints, machines, scanners, barcode readers. How these are connected to each other? So that is connected to what networks? That can be local area, wide area, whatever. Printers will be connected to the desktop. Cameras also can be connected. Already that you have seen that in your laptop. Then most of the laptops are having built-in cameras, that is inbuilt connected, and fingerprint machines are there. When we are attend into the organization, early in the morning you place the finger into the machine. So that is connected to what? Information system. That is connected. That is a device which connect to the information system. That is HR system. So HR system retrieve the fingerprint machine information and collect those information and provide reports. When you absent, that will automatically notify. So scanners, that is scanners will scan the images from the computer to the desktop machines, or else normally in the healthcare industry also there are so many scanners. Through the scanners they scan the body, and that will those images and the output will come to the machines. So those are connected devices, especially barcode readers. So barcode readers will be used in the in so many places where the goods are labeled, the products are labeled. When product selling companies or supermarket, these barcode readers are available. You can see when you go there. Centralized and decentralized processing. So what is centralized and what is decentralized? Centralized processing, one or more terminals are connected to a single processor, processing data at local level. What is decentralized? There are different CPUs connected to the network, and each processor can do its job independent of each other. Processing data is decentralized level. In the local level, one or more terminals are connected to a single processor. It means, let us say one computer, that computer is connected. So there are terminals, that terminal is connected to a one centralized computer that has a CPU, central processing unit. That processor deal the request coming from the terminals. So it is called centralized processing. Decentralized processing is different CPUs, which is in different bands, which is in different performance, are connected to a network. So and each processor can do a job independent of each other. So in this system, decentralized system, the softwares will be installed in each PCs. So let us say word processing software that is installed in each of the PCs, then they can work independently. So in centralized processing, those softwares will be installed in one computer and is shareable. That word processing also can be shareable. It is a one instant used by the terminals. The other instant also will be used by the terminal too. Likewise, so centralized processing is different from decentralized processing. So you have to understand about the concept behind here and what are the main elements. So decentralized processing has network connectivity, but central processing has connectivity to a single processor. So each processor can do its job independently. So these are the features which the mouse pointer is going focus in this one. So you have to refer to this information, you have to memorize these things. Then in the question paper, MC question paper, these differentiation will be questions. So you have to identify the correct answer then. So internet. What is internet? Enable computers across the world to communicate via telecommunication link. Information can be shared through internet by many methods such as email and feeding data. I think that nowadays we cannot find a person who has not surfed internet. Everybody is surfing internet because it is given to the smartphones. Even Achiyamma or whatever the old person know, anybody. I have seen that last week I saw that one of the old grandma, he was using a tab to browse YouTube. In the YouTube, he referred to the Buddhist monk is giving some comments. So he is referring to those videos. So that can be that's a learning platform. So those people are using those things. So internet is everybody known about this one, but it's better if you can because of time consuming, I am not going to go into detail about this internet thing. So you can refer to the videos that I have provided in the YouTube. If you can search history of internet and how the internet works, that will give a very good idea. And normally if I tell you that internet in early days in a company, let's say ABC company, that has one computer. So then they wanted to connect that computer with another one. Then they connected, right? This is in let's say in America, in this ABC company, there was a network, it is connected. Then they were sharing files. Then later on, it is in a one department. Then this department, let's say this is a department A1. Then another department was there. Then they also connected each other. Then this also link. Likewise, this is the organization 1. Then that organization want to link with then another organization. This is organization 2. Then what happened? In America, there's all the organization no link. So in here, let's say as a country, the network was built up. Now they are sharing the knowledge. So then they wanted to connect with what? Some other country. This is country 1, this is country 2. Then no connected through countries. So in this mechanism, in some other they use satellite in the space. Then when they want to connect this in company website in other country, they have to go to the satellite and then go here. But it's consume much more miles. Its connectivity is very far. So when retrieving information from this one to this one, it consumes some more time. Then what happens was there was a delay. So when we fetch information, that has to go there to the satellite, it comes here. That's how was the network developed. Then they decide to connect these two countries through connectable devices, connectable networks. That is fiber network that is going under the sea, that is connected to the country. So that's how the networks develop. Nowadays these two things are available. This is very fast, this is a little bit delay. But in future this will be establishing in a good way. Already most of the countries have established in a good way. So this is how the structure would develop. If you go to the slide, there are two videos. You can refer to those two videos. History of internet and how internet works. So this site will be uploaded into the LMS as said by the people. So you can refer to those things. And website. What is the website is? Collection of web pages which provide information that the users are required. Actually, if this is a simple question, but in the question paper, they will ask about what is the website is. Then you have to say collection of web pages. What is this web pages is? Normally we say website has a web page. Let's say we go to the CA Lanka website. I will explain you what is this collection of web pages is. Let's go to the student area that has 1, 2, 3, 4. There are about 20 more pages, right? So we will go to the, let's say go to this one. So there is a page. Then we go to the revision program is there. Then we go to the revision programs. Then the revision program page is there. Then we go to CSR project, right. So, this is how each and every pages is connected. It's a collection of pages. So, website is a collection of pages. I think CSC Lanka has about more than 500 pages, I think. Each and every page is linked to another page. So, that is called collection of pages. I think that you have very good understanding about this now. And World Wide Web. What is www? Navigation system within the internet. So, in the Google, in CSC Lanka, you can see this www.csclanka.com. This is use a technology called hypertext. So, in the question paper, sometimes they will ask what is the technology used by World Wide Web? That is hypertext. What is this hypertext is? This is hypertext. This is highlighted. When you click on that, that will go to the link. And this technology is used in the CSC Lanka website. Each and every page is hypertext. Hyperlinks are there. It means when you go to one page, there is another connected to the other page also. And that is called World Wide Web. It's a navigation system within the internet. And web browser. Web browser is the one that you browse internet. Initially, in 40 years ago, maybe Internet Explorer was there. Then Google came into action. Then Google Chrome app was developed, and using that Google Chrome, it was very prominent because of the search engine that is very fast rather than other browsers. And there are especially Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla. So, those are the example. Electronic mails is another infrastructure. It's a mechanism for sending data or messages electronically via a telephone, data or data network and a central server computer. Electronic mail. In early days, that the email or whatever the message was sent through somebody else, they have to travel. But now email is used, text messages, chat through chat, telephone, from the telephone that you are calling to a person in Australia from Sri Lanka. So, it is electronically calling, because you know that all this telephone network are interconnected. Normally in Sri Lanka, SLT is the authority person, whichever the call that you are taking from Mobitel dialogue, which will go through SLT, and you have to for each and every call there is a charge for SLT as well. So, in other countries as well. Through electronic mails, in text messages, chat or telephone, emails, the messages can be sent. So, those are simple infrastructure that you can understand. And Wi-Fi, what is Wi-Fi is? This is a normal thing that today's environment in the society is a technology that links computers or mobile phones to the internet or to a network without the need for cable or connection. That does not need cable. Now, most of the organizations nowadays, what they do is they do not wire the network. They use this wireless technology. Sometimes the normally wireless technology is a little bit very slower than the cable connectivity, but that is improved up to some extent now. So, most of the organizations are using this facility, using wireless connectivity to connect the network, then because it is easy, it is less cost, and there are free Wi-Fi hotspots. When you come to CSC Lanka, there CSC Lanka Wi-Fi is there. When you are connected to CSC Lanka Wi-Fi, you will be getting the access of the internet, so you can access it freely. So, municipal Wi-Fi tower covers the entire city. So normally some of the countries in Colombo, I am not remember exactly whether this have we not. So in some places in Colombo, this is given is freely, and municipal council that can set up a Wi-Fi in a Colombo area. So anybody can connect to the municipal Wi-Fi and refer to the browse the internet. So that mechanism is implemented in most of the countries. And we'll go to this home working. What is home work? Is that working from home or homework? Employees do not have to be on the employer's premise to do their work. Can connect to their intranet and work. I have seen this one that sometimes most of the organization has implemented this. People work from home. This was implemented initially when someone has some problems to travel to the office. They were offered some mechanism like working from home. They can do the task and send it to the people, the boss, send it to the boss or the supervisor. So then they develop a system which share this one. They can online log in and get the task to be done. Then they work from home and send it to the organizer. Especially this is used in the software industry. And there's a good concept development through this home from work, home working. We can create virtual organizations that is not physically exist. We can create a virtual organization. The people can connect virtually. There are agreements signed, EPF number and everything can be given. The tasks are given. They work from home. They log into the system. They work and they submit it, and then they may close the job. So working hours also can be specified. That can be happen in task basis as well. One task is given, within 1 week you have to do it. So those platforms are heavily developing, heavily spreading in the world now. Groupware. What's groupware means? Groupware refers to programs that help people to work together collectively while located remotely from each other. From example that we can tell it very good. Lotus Note, earlier that Lotus Note was there, and Microsoft Exchange. It's a groupware. It's a collection of applications. If you go to Microsoft Exchange now, SharePoint, email, teamwork, and so many applications there. It is in one platform. It's a group of softwares, programs that provide the platform called groupware, and facilitates calendar sharing. In Microsoft Exchange, that facilitates the calendar sharing. So when you are scheduling the meetings, tomorrow at 2 p.m. that you will be having a meeting, and so these people, then you share the calendar to the people, then they will accept. Once they accept, the acceptance list also can be taken, then the meeting can be scheduled accordingly. If they have problems of coming, they can decline the acceptance request. And email handling and the replication of files across the distributed system, and so that all users can view the same information. The information are replicated, so it is duplicated, it's given many times. So users can view it's on the same time, same information can be retrieved. So this is the platform that refers, groupware refers to programs that help people. Especially I am telling you that it's better you to go to Microsoft Exchange. If you don't have an account, please refer to one of your colleague or somebody. Then you can refer to the Microsoft Exchange and see the features available there. Then you can get a very good understanding about that. And also the collaborative software example are given here. The groupware is the collaborative software. If you can refer to this, you can get much more ideas. The collaborative software example also given there: electronic calendars, project management, online grouping, workforce system, the knowledge management system. There are so many things. Okay. Workflow systems. What is this workflow system? It's a series of tasks which perform in order to achieve a specific result or outcome in an organization. That has main features, which has a series of tasks and achieve a specific result. Let's say that in this picture you can see the tasks connected to each other as a sequence. It's like a value chain. So one person will do something, request it, it goes to the another person, that goes to another one, then it goes to the another one. It's a circulation of information. That's a workflow system. As an example, a purchase order process flow creating in the purchase order system, the workflow create purchase orders and send out the request for quotation. Quotation was requested, analyze and select the vendor, received and check invoice, receive goods services, negotiate contracts, negotiate with the supplier, then authorize invoice and pay vendor, record keeping and done. So this is the process. So please understand that each and every organization, in any organization, there are so many processes. Those are the workflows. That one workflow, say that purchase order processing system, let's say recruitment processing. Organization, the CSC Lanka as an example, they will publish the advertisement in the newspaper, then application will come. Once the application is come to the organization, what they do is they screen the application and refer to the information and select the suitable qualified people for the interview. Then they will be calling for the interview, they will be coming. In the evaluation forms, they will be the evaluator, the interviewer will put the mark and evaluate them, then they will be selected, and that will be done by the recruitment committee or somebody, and then that will be sent to the council or whatever the management for approval. Then the approval is issued, then HR division will coordinate this one, and then they will issue an offer letter and then the appointment letter, and then the person will come and join with the organization. So there is a process, that is a workflow process. So there are each and every activities connected to each other. So in the system also that can be happening in the systematic way, that has a series of tasks. So which why there is a series of tasks? To perform a specific result. So those are called the workforce system. Those workforce systems are heavily used in manufacturing companies. So raw materials comes, then after raw materials there is a separation of raw materials, then quality will be checked in the raw material, that will be separated and put it to a product specifying person, and that is analyst. Likewise, there are so many activities, set of activities, series of activities going in that manufacturing process to achieve a certain task, that is product development. So those are the workflow system available in the companies. So in the examination, sometimes they will ask, there is a purchase order processing system as an example for the workflow system. Example for the purchase order process system is as an example for workflow system. Then you have to answer. Sometimes they will ask what are the main important characteristics of workflow system. Then that has series of tasks, specific result. There is a process. Likewise, so many things. So you have to understand the concept. Then by understanding the concept, you can tick the correct answer. Intranet. In previous slides here intranet was there, but I need to explain that that one I was expected to explain it in this slide, right. So, internal network used to share information using internet technology. In the intranet word you can see that IN, that is internal. It is what? Internal network used to share information using internet technology, and also a private network that connects employees with an organization to communicate, share information, post news and many more information. If you are working in an organization, you can understand this instantly. Because most of the organizations are developing this platform, and CS Lanka also having one I think, and some other organization also I have worked for that, those also having that systems. It is a web based system. That system has some information. I will especially that organization wanted to share information to their employees. So, let us say we will take as an example of CSE Lanka. I am taking this example because you will be remember it well, right, CA. So, CA has an internal network. So, they want to share some information, so they have a HR system, and also they want contact information, that is employee contacts, right, and they may need some news about the organization, events, new events happening in the organization, and also employee present. It means every day employees are coming to the organization. You want to see whether who came today, is this person is present today, right, and promotion in the under the HR, that we can have promotions or new job within the organization, jobs will be posted, and this can have other jobs also outside, for whom this is for others to refer, and some kind of other information. So, CS Lanka is developing a system. In this this is a web page. That web page, this, right, this web page has employee information. So, you want to call to somebody, you do not have the information. What you do is you go to the intranet, you click on the employee contact details, you refer to the contacts, you can call to the person. And if you want to refer to in and out times or whatever, you can refer to the HR system, you can click on there, you can get the information. And new job posting, new arrivals, everything can be posted here, you can refer to those information. And news, what are the news? CS Lanka won this medal, and whatever the information can be posted there, when you refer to that, you can see updated information. And events, what are the new events coming in future, then employees are updated about the news. And employee promotion, and also employee attendance, and you want to see whether this person is available. You are calling to the person through this contact, but he is not answering. Then you can refer to this screen and see whether he is present today. So this is the website which provide information to the internal people, internal staff. Then HR person, no, anybody do not want to give information personally. So you can, it is available online. So this is called intranets. I think you got a very good idea about that. As an example, I can show you this one example in some other company. So they have internal jobs, posters there, employee assistant, employee system, news are there, and this is the intranet developed by some other company. So it's a web page, daily that they can refer to this page and refer to the information. So it is within the organization, not in outside. It's a private network. So in the question paper, sometimes these features will be asked. Special feature is, this is a private network that connects employees within an organization to communicate, share information, post news and many more informations. So private things accessible only for staff in the organization. What is extranet? EX means external. Controlled private network that allows access to partners, vendors and suppliers for an authorized set of customers. So once the intranet is developed, that can be open for other suppliers, but it is controlled by private network. So control is available with the, as an example, if the CSC Sri Lanka has an intranet, they have the controllability. If they want to post a bid, it means for procurement, they will post it in the website, in the intranet, that will be converted to extranet, and all that information will be shared to the authorized customers only. So then the concept is changed to intranet. Example of companies that use extranet is fashion companies such as, you can refer to this one in the website. The company website allows customer to register and start making purchase online. Such as the George Washington University. Those are the examples that I can give you. And extranet can be divided into intranet and supranet. So intranet and supranet is an extranet. So these things you have to be comparatively check. What is intranet, extranet and intranet and supranet. So those are nice words, but you have to understand the concept behind that. Intranet, how it differ? Intranet, it's a corporate, it is internally is there. If you see this image, there is a wall. It's a brick wall, but we consider it as a firewall, right? Firewall is the electronic, the IT tools that will create a wall between the organization and the outside partners. And public internet is there, so they are connected to this. So intranet is open, then this is called extranet, this is called intranet, and intranet is open to the external parties, then it convert to extranet, right? So from the simple image you can see the difference, right? So intranet, what is intranet is? Earlier we said extranet may be divided into intranet and supranet. Access to an intranet is extended to trusted external agencies such as suppliers and customers. It becomes the intranet. Intranet is extended when there is a requirement to be given to the other suppliers. What the organization does is intranet features, some of the features only will be given to the other people, that can be suppliers or customers. So, other people, let us say as the example I have taken in the procurement concept, procurement scenario, the organization want to purchase some computers. What they does is they publish in the intranet, and there is a bid document, that is the requirement specification published by the CSE Lanka. There is a document uploaded into the intranet, and that is allowed for suppliers to view and download and submit the proposal. So, the supplier will download the specific, let us say specification, it should be the bid document, right. So, they refer to the content, they prepare the document, and that can be uploaded, re-uploaded into the intranet as well. So, that is called intranet. So, it is open for trusted parties, that can be supplier, customer and partners. Intranet, that is open for trusted parties, then it becomes the intranet. But please remember, this is also an extranet, right. And what is supranet? Is set up in a cooperative fashion, and control is not exercised by a single host. In earlier, there is a control. For trusted parties, it is open. Even though it is open, it is not to a trusted party, it is open for everyone. And control is not done by single host. In the intranet and intranet, so the control is done by a single party, but in supranet is it not control, it is a cooperative fashion and control. So, supranets are virtual network private to a group of users, that can be used a group of people, offer a wide array of managed IT services to meet the need of a business. When there is a need for a business, IT services can be managed. Oh, and that has especially the issue that the supranet has the security issue, because different networks are connected to this. Then and also it is not controlled by the single party. Then there can be hackers that they will be coming to this supranet. Then they can hack and they can get details. So, security is a main concern, that especially in the question papers this feature will be asked, I think so, because security is a major concern in the supranet. It's a very good feature that is highlighted in the content. What is expert system? Is a piece of software which uses database of expert knowledge to offer advice or make decision in such areas. I am reading this one and also then I am lecturing that, right. So, it is a computer system that emulates the decision making ability of a human. Expert systems are designed to solve complex problems by reasoning through bodies of knowledge. Let us say system like let us say that earthquake is coming. So, that will be identified by the expert system. So, to identify those systems, there is a special thing that is called artificial intelligence. That is artificial intelligence is that from your brain you take decision. You take this is what should be happen based on the previous experience, right. But in the information systems, they cannot take instantly, the decision cannot be taken instantly. So, what they have to do is, they have collected some information, that is the history. Based on those information, what they do is, they do the thinking, they decide what to do. So, So, they uses a database of expert knowledge. So, different databases are using. They are using those databases, they decide the decision ability of a human being can be improved. So, especially in the robotic development, these things are used. Let us say that if somebody develop a system like develop a robot, that robot will scan the body and see the illness that the person has, then guide it to the patient saying that you have to do this one. If it is implemented, what will happen? There is no job for doctors. So, there is a side effects as well. So, the brief description I have given, if you can read it out, you can again memorize the knowledge. An expert system is defined as an interaction and reliable computer based decision making system which use the both fact and heuristic to solve complex decision making problems. So, those systems will be come into action in future. So, in everywhere in the world, this artificial intelligence is used. Not only one thing, so for so many things it is used. So, it is obvious that you must understand about these highlighted main important things of the expert systems. That will come to the examination, I guess so. As example, I can say that as examples, I will take this example, KDIT, expert system that could identify cancer at early stage. If you have a cancer, that system will automatically identify whether you have a cancer and what cancer it is. So, those are the expert system. As I said to you, if a robot can identify the whole body and say not only cancer, what are the other illness you have. So, that is the expert system. And lung cancer and chemical identifications and there are so many things you can refer. I think from this example you can get the main idea behind that. Big data. Big data is, what is big data is? Big data is a large volume of data. It's a main characteristic of big data. And there are special thing in that big data is a combination of structured and unstructured data collected by organization that can be mined for information and used in machine learning projects, predictive modeling and other advanced analytical applications. So, it's a large volume of data that can be in different forms. In the written form also can be there and also in different databases and social media or whatever the platform, big data is there. So, as I given you in here, the structured data database are in different format. So, you can understand what is the structured data big data is. It is stored in SQL, let's say as an example SQL database, that can be SQL, MySQL, whatever the database, the information is stored heavily. So, there are large volume of data. Example that in Sri Lanka, all the information of people can be stored in one place. Now, it is actually not functioning well, but those information can be collected. So, in Australia or some other country, if I taken as an example, their profile is written in a database. their qualification, their exit and coming into the country, going out to the country, and what is the earning, and also what are the earning for the month, and how many children, and what they are doing, and family background, how many cars he has, how many houses he has, and all those information are in one place or some other place which is connected each other. So that has a large volume of data, and those data is stored in SQL database can be, right. So that is called what? Structured data. And there are unstructured data, information in many different form, that can be in text, document, in social media also there are so many unstructured data. And also there is other part that is semi-structured data. In the web server logs or streaming data from sensors. From the sensors some information can be taken. When you are opening the door, that from the door that it sends saying that your attendance is okay. So likewise those data also can be there, those are semi-structured data. And so as an example that with this big data thing will be explained in other chapters as well. In this syllabus they have given a very good weightage for this big data, because there is a very importance. And normally in today's environment 80% of data is unstructured, it is not structured. It means social media informations and also chat informations, and all the informations are here and there, it is in the internet. So large volume of data which is available in the internet as unstructured is 80% or more, and 20% is structured data. What is data mining? Now we have big data, it's large volume, right. Please remember this word called large volume, right. And is the extraction of data mining, is the extraction of partners and knowledge from large amount of data. Patterns, sorry, is the extraction of patterns. In data mining, what they does is they minimize this, they cluster it. Why they do? Because in this large volume data, different ideas can be taken. In order to do that, what the mechanism they use is data mining, that extract, that taken out the pattern of knowledge, and pattern, the data pattern will be extracted from large volume of data. Data mining has 6 tasks. Anomaly detection, that is actually called error detection. Identification of unusual data recorded, removing errors. Let us say in a database that you enter some data, your birthday is entered as 2025, but still 2025 has not come. So that error has to be removed and can be corrected. So that is how it explained. So association rule learning, dependency modeling, search for relationship between variables. It means there are connectivity to one to another. It is the association, it is a relationship. So in the supermarket, especially as an example, from one product to another, there is an association. In the Walmart example, I have given it here. In some country, I am not remember exactly what the country is. They were in supermarket. They were Walmart is the brand. So, they were selling nappies of children, for small children. So, the parents went to the supermarket buy nappies, and they see the beer locations, beers are available. So, they take one beer and one nappy and goes home, because mother says to the dad, please bring a nappy, and father goes to the supermarket, take the nappy, and then he see a beer and take that beer also. Then because of this buying decision of the customer, ultimately this supermarket identify that there is a relationship with the beer and nappies. So, what that relationship is, when the father is going to buy a nappy from a supermarket, he see that beer and take the beer also. So, there is a correlation between that. Then they invented is a strategic marketing tool, and they promoted that. So, that is the association rule learning, right. Then from the big data you have, through the data mining techniques, what is that? That association rule learning. So, they identify the dependency with the another product, or the association related to another information. From information one to another, there can be one or too many association. It means the relationship, right. Then clustering is the task of discovering group and structure of data. So, in clustering, there can be similar information stored there that can be clustered. Let us say people behavioral information that can be clustered, and also in the supermarket also the product can be classified into different clusters. So, that information then also can be retrieved, and based on the subject matters, the data can be clustered. Let us say in a country, all data, as I said as an example in Australia, all the data is stored in all the information of one person is stored, and they cannot cheat to the government, and so government is clustered, is going to cluster the people from the children from age 1 to 5, 5 to 10, and 10 to 20, and teenagers, and elders, and those information. So, instantly they can take those information. This is a large volume of data, and not only that, if the countries are connected to each other, so in the world these information are there. So, that also can be clustered accordingly. So, I think that you can understand about the clustering now. Classification, the task of generalizing known structure to apply to new data. For example, an email programming might attempt to classify an email as legitimate or spam. Classify, it is identifying what the data is. Let us say in the email, I think that everybody is having an email. So, when you log into the email, there are spam emails, and also email in the inbox. So, when the emails come to the email address from the server, it classify whether it legitimate or illegitimate. So, if it is illegitimate, what they does is they will consider as spam. If it is a good data, good email, they will send it to the inbox. So, you can refer to the inbox for good emails or spam emails that sometimes come with the virus. So, it automatically identify from the servers and send a flag with the email to the email browser, the email platform, then it goes to the spam folder. then how it's classified. So, I think you understand about the classified now. The regression, attempt to find a function that models the data with the least error, is more estimating the relationship among data and data set. It is removing errors actually. It's earlier that we could explain about anomaly detection, detected and that is removing. So, normally in data that use some data models, functions to eliminate some errors. So, then we will talk about summarization, providing a more compact representation of the data set including visualization, report, generalization. So, from this large volume of data that is called big data, so data mining is used, and using the data mine is anomaly detection, association is identified, clustering is done, clarification is identified as legitimate spam, and regression is done, and by using the models, the functions and calculations, so it is done. So, then summarization is done, it is the report generation like. So, from that the companies can identify the main important thing from the big data you have. Let us say as an example that from the last 10 years sales data if you have identified in your organization, and you can cluster it into the subject areas, and you can do all these data mining techniques and summarize the information and put it to the management for action. It means the management notifications can be sent. So, the management can identify each and every summarized information and take decision. So, during the, as an example, during the last 10 years, the sales volume may have increased, but from April or some other, let us say in April or somewhere, the increase of sales goes down, went down. So, why is that? So, that from the data that have, historical data that have in the system is stored, and then it is classified, identify what's there, and the summarized information are put into the management. So, management will take the decision. So, this is whole process is called data mining. Okay. How technologies can be used by an accounting or financial professional in decision making. So, you are going to be a financial professional, already you may be in companies doing auditing or something, or in other company doing some jobs. So, in this side that we are going to learn about how technologies can be used by an accounting or financial professional. As an accountant or financial profession, when you want to take decision, how the technologies you can use. Accountant must understand how technology is in their role. So, especially accountants, when they come to the organization, they can identify different technologies are there. There are some different information system. One can be HR system and supplier management system, and in CAC Lanka can be in finance system or examination system or procurement or UN management or sales system or registration system. There are so many systems are there. The technology used behind those systems has to be identified by the accountant, because in order to audit the things, those professional accounting professionals has to be understand about the each and every technology used there, and also when using the emails and normal general activities in the organization which uses the IT or technology has to be known by the accountant. There are many accounting software support for financial professional duties. Especially there are some software like Pronto, and Pronto is a ERP, and some other accounting softwares. You may have already understand and learned about those things. So, there may be accounting software support the financial professional duties. So, when you want to perform the duties, you have to understand those things. Normally, that in today's world, the financial management is easy because of softwares now. Now, you don't need to do the trial balance. It comes automatically from the system. If you want to do it manually, that is a hectic problem. Sometimes that cannot be balanced. But somehow in the system that is accurately captured, and from the system itself it generates the things. So, it is easy now, and also somebody can ask why don't we manually do it. The reason is, if you have studied the concept behind that, if you know what is going on there, if you can see a trial balance and see what is the element there, and through the trial balance, if you can predict the future and if you can take decision, that is sufficient, because we have up to now we have come to some extent. So, beyond this we have to improve further. So, from the softwares available for financial professor has given so many advantages for their duties, for the easiness. They have the ability to analyze the knowledge or data available in the organization and provide relevant reports for decision making. Let us say in each organization there can be cash cow products. Cash cow products, you may know that the products give the profit, can be a cash cow, and the product will be losing money, that not profited products can be other way around. So, there can be so many products. So, in the products range, the accountant can analyze the past information, and from the system they capture those information and develop a report saying that this product is not reaching the required target. So, that information can be provided to the management, and also during the last few years how the expenses were done, and in division wise this is the expenses has carried forward and also done. So, that summarization information also can put it to the management, and management can take decision of how to cut the cost. So, whatever decision can be made. Likewise, in financially within next 10 years or 5 years, if the main strategic people in the organization, CEO or the council or the board, if they want to take the decision, especially financial information are more critical. So, they take the report from the financial professional like you and summarize information for decision making. Each workflow of the organization should be understood. So, workflow system that I explained you earlier, it's kind of a system in the manufacturing process we can explain, and each and every organization likewise there are workflows. It means from the purchasing process there is a workflow. In Charter Institute, if we say that event management is there, so event management process, there is a process, and also procurement there is a process, for examination there is a process, for registration there is a process. So, that is a workflow. Each and every entity is connected to each other. In that process there is a financial involvement. So, organization workflows has to be understood by the financial professional. Then it is easy for them to track the financial activities going in each processes, workflows. The integration point in the system in the organization. The systems are integrated together. Let us say through the attendance machine, it captures the information and it goes to the HR system. So, those are integrated. So, finance professional should understand how the system provide those information, how does this come, from where it's come. If there something goes wrong, they have to audit it. So, such kind of integration point has to be understand. Let us say this year about 100 accountants were qualified for as chartered accountant. So, then then there is a payment also involved. So, they have to pay the payment. So, there is a integration point with the sales people and with the sales counter and also with the member relations. So, there is an indication points. All those indication points has to be identified. Use of supporting tools such as email and chat and EC. So, those method of communication in the organization has to be known by the accountants for financial professionals. Okay, chapter 1 is completed now. Let's go to the chapter 2. Managing technology in organization. Why organization grasps new technologies? So, before that, management technology in organization, management of technology is in today's world this is heavily spreading in most of the organization. So, organization grasps new technologies. Why is that? Why the organization need technologies? Early adopters to get ahead of competitors. Let us say in the competitive market, without technologies you cannot improve your product. In order to sell the product, you must use the digital technologies. Otherwise, because most of the people in the country are connected through internet, they use the technologies. So, companies also go with this technology, otherwise they cannot survive. So, early adopters means the people who have adopted the innovations. So, they have done the product, they have created the product, they can compete with the competitors. They have the competitive advantage because they have adapted well. So, and improve the performance. Using technologies, we can improve the performance. Let us say if you want to send some information to a far away locations, what you have to do is, you have in using internet you can do it. And let us say you want to discuss with the people in the Candy branch. So, we have a location in the Candy branch. So, through the technologies we can we can have a meeting with them, discuss the performance. So, then ultimately that improve the performance of the organization through the technologies, because those people they don't need to come to the Colombo branch, Colombo head office to inform it to the managers or the supervisors. So, they can remotely log in. So, those things will improve the performance. And quality of data available. The data available in the organization is in good quality. Because of technologies, the quality of data can be improved. As an example, in a simple form that is given to the outside parties, let us say as a student, I can say that you have to fill a form for student registration or something. So, when you are filling the form, that automatically identify the errors that you are when you are typing. If a birthday is typed in incorrectly, that is identified. However, some other data also can be identified. Then the quality of data is increased. So, through the technologies, that is why organization grasps new technologies. So, good for stakeholders. It is good for you stakeholder. As an example, as a student, let us say you are a stakeholder of CS Sri Lanka. I have seen that in many years ago, exam result were released to the student and through the notice board. It was published in the notice board. There was a huge number of students, about 5,000, 10,000 students come to Sri Lanka and refer to the result. So, it was a very huge queue. But using technology, what they have improved is, once the result is released, you can refer to the websites and see the result. And automatically a message will send to your mobile phone saying that your result is released. Please refer to the website. Then only you can refer to the result, not others. In the early days, everybody can come and see the list and see the result of others as well. But now it is privacy is maintained and technology is given. You don't know to come here, you don't know to spend anything. So as stakeholders, it's good for you. In earlier also this big data was explained. In this chapter also big data is explained now. So I don't read it and I don't explain it further, because already it is informed. And as I said to you that in this chapter also big data concept is given for you to understand in a very good way. Therefore there will be some question of that. So using this video link, you can refer to the big data concept given there and improve your knowledge. Defining of big data. Big data is defined by the by V's. What is the V's? Each of the V's has letter called V. So volume. What is this volume? As big data, so large volume of data, it was explained there. So vast volume of data, it is large, it is generated. So vast volume of data is generated in big data. It's a large volume, that is called V plus V, right? Variety, different type of data, unstructured and structured data, and also semi-structured data also there. Today 80% are unstructured. As I said to you earlier, 80% of the data in today's world is unstructured, and 80% include photo, video, sequences, social media, updates, and so many things. In YouTube also, if you report to YouTube, there are so many data available in different categories which are clustered. We can cluster it to different categories: education materials, or films, or learning other materials, and for any subject it is available. So and also photos available in the internet, and also in the Facebook or social media, LinkedIn, or whatever the media that using at present. So this variety, so differentiation, different type of data is there. So you can understand what is varieties. Veracity, quality and truthfulness. Whether the information available, whether the big data is available, is truthfulness. What is the truthfulness of this big data? Whether it is true or false. Quality, then if it is bogus information, the quality goes down. If it is truthful information, correct information, quality goes up. I have seen in social media sometimes very bogus information are going here and there. So that is under unstructured category as 80%. So that the quality is reduced. There is no quality when the bogus informations are available. So in unstructured data types, the bogus information, the quality is reduced. Velocity, speed at real time. What is the speed at real time? Speed at which data is being streamed into the organization. if the big data available in the internet, when it is receiving, if it is taking much more time, that is not a good data. It means that retrieval has to be fast. We must receive it at real time. Receiving information at real time is a good quality data. Then we see the data real time. Let us say today we want to refer to some news, but I could not refer to the news because of the speed and so many issues. Then after 2 days time I received the information, but the value that I had today will not be available tomorrow. So likewise the speed and retrieving the information at real time is much more important. So the description given in here will be giving a very good idea about the comparison between these V's. So sometimes this will be asked in the paper with the what are the big data defined variables like. Cloud computing. Cloud computing is the on-demand availability of computer system resources, especially data storage and computing power without direct active management by the user. This is a good one that will take about some times. So we will refer to this slide with the next session. So because there are so many information that you have to understand about the cloud computing, which is a very good concept. So let's talk about this one from the next session.